guys, Giselle here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I did my DIY knotless braids. This is my first time doing them. I will say if you do have braiding experience, it will be a little bit easier for you. But if you don't worry. Just have patience with yourself. Let's get into the video. So starting with my setup, I have everything set up here in my bathroom. I have my hair, my laptop, of course. I used my little cabinet underneath space to hold my hair, and then this is the most important part. I have a large mirror with my chair that I will be sitting in, and basically I have positioned this mirror so then I am able to see the back of my head from my main mirror in my bathroom. This is the best setup I have ever had braiding ever. As far as the braiding hair, I purchased this from Amazon. I will leave a link down below. I got 8 packs of this pre-stretched hair, purple hair. I'm really going for a Justine Skye vibe here, so I'm really excited. So like I said, I'm using this drawer door right here to hold my hair. And to prep my hair, what I do is I grab the entire bundle. I put some gel on the back of my hand so that I am able to kind of smooth out my sections as I separate them. So I'm separating the hair about that size, that width, and that is going to be the width of my braids. I'm going to take a little gel and smooth down the sides of that section just so it doesn't get all tangled up within itself and with the other strands of hair. And I'm going to keep doing this until my entire door is full of hair. I have a row of hair. So parting for knotless is really important because you can see the parts a lot more, and it just makes the style look really well put together if your parts are on point. So what you want to do is make an initial kind of first draft part. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to be kind of like the blueprint for the part. Now once you have your draft part set, you're going to take your edge control or gel or whatever it is, and you're going to run it along the part. And what this does is this will help your hairs stick to whatever side they are supposed to stick to. So that way when you go in to perfect the part, you don't have hairs out of place. You have hairs that are going to lay down and stick to the side that they're supposed to stick. That way your parts are clean and really perfect. So that's just a tip that I have seen as far as perfecting your parts. Lay down your edge control and your gel when perfecting your part. Now this is where this mirror comes in clutch, because as you can see, I can see the back of my head perfectly. So I was really able to get really straight and precise. I wouldn't say super precise, but I was really able to get some great parting done because of the way my mirror was set up. So I really encourage you to find a place in your apartment, in your bathroom, where you can set up a full-length mirror of sorts so you are able to see your parting in the back of your head. So the best way to part your individual braids is to part from the middle of your previous row that is underneath. And you want to part in a bricklaying pattern, meaning the parts are not right on top of each other. That way when your braids are down and hanging loose, the braids cover up the parts instead of the braids stacked on top of each other. So you want to start from the middle of your head, the back, and work your way towards the front, making sure that your parts kind of always land in the middle of the braiding section that is below it. And a tip is to twist your hair that you are not currently braiding, or the section that you are not currently braiding, out of the way. That way you are not grabbing any hair by mistake and your parts remain clean and crisp. Alrighty, so on to the actual braiding. So first I'm going to apply my edge control, my gel, to this braiding section very thoroughly. I recommend a really strong edge control or gel to really help your hair stick to the braiding hair. And you're just going to separate your section into your 3 braiding legs, just like you would any other braid. So now I'm going to begin my braiding movements. So my first braiding movement is this one here. I'm going to count this as number 1. As you can see, I have braiding legs 1 and 3 in my main hand and braiding leg 2 up at the top on its own. Again, starting with movement 1, and here we have my braiding legs and their positions. So now I'm going to add my first piece of braiding hair to braiding legs 1 and 2. I'm going to slip this piece of braiding hair into the fingers that are holding braiding leg 1 and then slip the other half of the braiding hair up to braiding leg 2. Now I'm going to continue my braiding movements. This is 2, and 3. And I'm always adjusting my grip to make sure my braid is tight and neat. Grabbing my next piece of braiding hair, and I'm going to attach it to braiding leg 2 and 3. And then continuing my braiding movements, this is 4, and 5. Now adding the last piece of braiding hair to braiding legs 1 and 3. Adding it to 3 right here in the dominant hand, and then swinging braiding leg 1 around to the other piece of braiding hair. And then continuing my braiding movements, this is 6 and 7. And so on and so forth. So you're going to keep braiding down up until you get to the point where you have braided most of your hair down so that your hair does not slip out, or that your braiding hair does not slip out and your braid just let loose. Once you get to that point, you can hold on to the braid, and I like to apply a little bit more edge control to the ends of my hair. That way they will stick to the braiding hair and they will be able to be tucked in nicely into the braid, and you don't have too much hair sticking out and all of that good stuff. So you want to get to a point where you have braided far enough down and tight enough down so that your braiding hair does not slip out before you go and add more product. And as you can see here, it's seamless. There isn't really any bumps. You can't really tell. There is no knot at the beginning of the braid. So again, from a different angle, I'm going to separate my section into the 3 braiding legs. Now I'm going to make my first braiding movement, which is this one here. I'm going to count this as 1. I'm going to add my first braiding hair piece, attaching it to this main braiding leg here at the front and swinging the back piece up to the braiding leg at the top. I'm going to continue my braiding movement. This is 2 and 3. Now we're adding another piece of braiding hair. Again to the main braiding leg at the front and swinging the back piece to the braiding leg at the top. Continuing braiding movement 4, 5. Grabbing another piece of hair, adding it to both braiding legs, continue braiding 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on and so forth. So to save time, I did not braid all of my braids down as I was doing them. I was just braiding them down enough so my real hair did not pop out, and then I went back at the end and braided all of them down. It's a real time saver. If you can even have a friend help you out at this point, this would be saving just so much time for you. And then of course your last step is to heat seal your braid ends. I'm using really hot water. This hair is heat sealing, so just using boiling water to really seal in those ends, and then you are good to go. So yeah guys, I really hope that this was very informational. I hope I explained things as well as I can. I'm going to link my reference video that I used to kind of help me with this. This is my first time doing knotless braids, and it definitely took a bit of practice to kind of master it, or get the technique. It definitely, you have to get into a rhythm. Once you get into that rhythm, it's pretty much smooth sailing from there. You just have to be really efficient with your braiding movements and making sure to not hesitate and not take too many pauses or whatever the case may be, because then you will lose your rhythm and get all out of sync, and then your braids will turn out janky. So yeah, I hope that my video was informative and that I was able to explain everything very well. And yeah, until next time, thanks so much and stay safe.
We